As you can see, I'm in Tanzu Mission Control, which is a great place to create new clusters on any given cloud provider or attach existing Kubernetes clusters. Today, I have a Google Kubernetes Engine cluster that I'm going to attach and bring under the management of Tanzu Mission Control. So here's my GKE cluster. I'm calling it GKE VMware Cross Cloud. And what I want to do is bring it under the management of Tanzu Mission Control. To do so, it's pretty simple. All I have to do is click on Attach Cluster, give the cluster a name, provide a cluster group to that where that cluster will be part of. Click Next. And Tanzu Mission Control will give me an agent to install. All I do is copy that agent, kubectl command, and paste it in my GKE Engine Kubernetes cluster. This is a very quick step, and once this goes through, the agent talks back to Tanzu Mission Control, and you'll see that the new Google Kubernetes Engine cluster has successfully connected. Once it's connected, I can manage this cluster from Tanzu Mission Control without having to get into any other cloud console. This GKE cluster under Tanzu Mission Control, I can simply manage it, add Tanzu Service Mesh to this GKE cluster from TMC with a click of a button. All I have to do is click Add, and Tanzu Service Mesh and all its components will quickly be installed within the GKE cluster. Now, once Tanzu Service Mesh components start getting installed, Service Mesh is going to go ahead. It is going to analyze all the services, all the microservices, APIs that are deployed within that cluster, and it will show you a service level graph of everything we have. I'm right now installing an Acme Fitness app that is going to have multiple microservices. And once this application is deployed in my GKE cluster, you'll see that in Tanzu Service Mesh, it is automatically going to detect all these services. Now within Tanzu Service Mesh, our cluster is already attached, and I can create a global namespace. A global namespace is nothing but a logical construct of all the microservices that are applicable to a given application. Now, these microservices can be in a single cluster, or they could be across cluster. A global namespace gives me the ability to define security policies, central certificate management, etc. Here, I'm creating an Acme Fitness group called Global Namespace. I'm going to give it the domain where all my microservices are registered. Once that is done, I can select the cluster from which I want to incorporate microservices. So I'm going to select my GKE cluster and then select the namespace in which I want to gather all the services. Tanzu Service Mesh automatically detects all the microservices that were part of that cluster and namespace. Once the global namespace has been defined, it creates a security boundary around all these microservices. The global namespace creates automated certificate management for that domain, and it will create mutual TLS-based encryption across all these different services. A global namespace can also be defined on applications that span across multiple clouds. For example, in this scenario, we have the same Acme Fitness app deployed across 2 Kubernetes clusters and a global namespace that spans multiple clusters. You can see the shopping cart app was deployed on a vSphere cluster, and the catalog application was deployed on an AWS cluster. All the microservices are talking across these different cloud provider environments, and the global namespace is ensuring certificate management, security, and mutual TLS encryption across all these services.